went on a train to Seward from Anchorage. We went back. I drove all along here and ended up in Homer. And so one of the activities of doing something was I went fishing, of course, and I fished near Palmer, Alaska, in a little Stina, they call it, but I fished a lot of different places. But here I caught a fish so that I could tell a big fish story at some point. We also went charter fishing. Just can't get enough fishing. And here I caught some more silver salmon, and I had to tell the charter or the captain how to catch the fish because we weren't catching anything. So we all moved our lines up, and pretty soon we had our limit. Don't look at the blip. And here's another thing about my vacation. I saw some a lot of unique things. And this is a halibut. Probably most of you know what it is, but I've never really seen one in real life. And believe it or not, it was a lot of fun too. And I caught this by traveling, and I met this guy at a park area, and he was able to take me fishing for free, and it was a lot of fun. I met some nice people too, so that was nice. And I also had some culture. It's not really famous, but I thought this was neat. That's a giant halibut. How are you supposed to see him? And that was my buddy who went with me. The next part of another part of the adventure was I went whitewater rafting, and this is some of my family members who I met up there with, my sister and my brother and nephews, and oh, that's his wife. So I did some things, and it was nice to get together with family. So here's part of the whitewater trip where the water is actually very cold. You had to dress in very cumbersome outfits to keep warm, but it's also really milky colored, which was interesting, probably because all the chemicals going down. And there's me, right there, my brother. I got wet, but this doesn't show it. My sister lucked out. She was in the back, and she didn't even get wet. So the next adventure I had was I took a train ride, and like I said, I went from Anchorage to Seward and back again, which was a lot of fun. There's me, getting ready to go on a train. I said it succinctly. There's a train that was going through Anchorage, and along the train ride there was some beautiful scenery, so that made it all worthwhile. And it's hard to see, but there's a glacier in the back coming down, and it's an amazing thing to see a glacier in real life, but there's not much you can do with them. You just look at them. I also saw this event, which I thought was interesting. I'm still not sure if they just put that plane there to be funny, but it crashed. And it was interesting, some learning experiences. I think like 1 out of 10. But anyway, a lot of people have pilot's license there, and there's still a lot of places where you can't get to except for by plane. Here's another picture he saw on the train. And another adventure I had was a sightseeing cruise out of Seward, where we went through the peninsula. And there's a picture of some of the waterfalls. It's just amazing. And the boat, or the cruise boat, will get right up close, and it's just fun, and you can hear the water so close. There's an eagle I saw. I saw a lot of wildlife. I took some pictures, but I couldn't get them all here. I thought that was a good picture. Oh, and here we went to the Independence Mine at Hatcher Pass, which was near Palmer, and that was a lot of fun. But I didn't find any gold. But I did learn how they did it in the old days, which was very interesting. And then I also saw some wildlife. I thought it was a cow at first, but it turned out to be a moose. The bear, I almost had to wrestle with it while I was fishing. Just kidding. I took that through the gradient fence. I never did see a bear, which I really want out in the wild anyway, but that's a healthy one. And we saw the beluga whale, even though this is not from, I couldn't get a good picture of it because they just pop out a little, and plus we were moving kind of fast. But there is some, we did see the white, and then lastly we end up in Homer, Alaska, and that's where I like to live. It's a lot of boats there. And I stopped at the end and went to the butt whackers, which reminds me that Alaska does have a lot of interesting, and there's a lot of people who are do their own thing, you might say. All right. So overall, then, there's nothing fundamentally wrong about relaxing and doing nothing on a vacation. But I've chosen seeing and doing and learning trips which are fulfilling, and they can be relaxing if you plan it right. So would I call Alaska a terrific vacation? And I would say yes. This is Toastmaster.